2 King chapter 3, verses 9 through 11. That's 2 King chapter 3, verses 9, 10, and 11. So the king of Israel went, and the king of Judah, and the king of Edom, and they fetched the compass of 7 days' journey, and there was no water for the host, and for the camels that follow them. And the king of Israel says, Allah, that the Lord had called these 3 kings together to deliver them into the hand of the Moab. But Jehoshaphat says, is there not here a prophet of the Lord, that we may inquire of the Lord by him? And one of the king of Israel's servants answered and said, here is Elisha, the son of Shaphat, which poured water on the hands of Elijah. I want to talk with you from the subject this morning, stepping into a new season. That's what I want to talk about. Stepping into a new season. One Bible writer stated in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. He said these words, to everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. I want to inform the devil right now. Maybe y'all afraid to tell him, but he is not going to keep me in my old season. I have had my share of discouragement. I have had my share of discomfort. I have had my share of disappointment. And I have had my share of loneliness. I come to tell the devil I have made a new step. And I'm stepping out of my old season into a new season. He is not going to hold me in this situation any longer. I have made up my mind that if I'm going to do God's will, I got to make a new step. I wonder, does anybody in here want to make a new step? You want to get away from some of that old stuff that's been holding you down for a while. And so we need to start out right now, this moment, at this place, to tell the devil I'm moving into my new season. It's high time that he turned me loose, because he is not going to be able to deal with me in my new season. And I need to encourage this church family that is no sense in us allowing the devil to keep us handcuffed. We need to take the shackles off of us and give God some praises for what he's doing in our life right now. So when I read 2 Kings chapter 3, it told me something, that 3 kings, not to mention all of their armies, animals found themselves in a desperate situation. And they had went 7 days in the wilderness, and they had no water. I want to let you know that here I come to tell you that when I leave from here today, I come to tell you that I'm not going to be thirsty any longer. I don't worry about the devil taking my joy away anymore. And so I come to tell you that they were in a serious dilemma. The king of Israel started blaming God for their situation. That sounds like some of us. When we going through some tough times, we always want to point fingers at somebody else. Are y'all in here? But yet we don't look at ourselves being the cause of our own problem. And so they was in a bad situation. The king was a bad influence. Sometimes the biggest problems, can I say this? The biggest problem we have is our friendship circle. Now, there are some wrong folks sometimes that's around you. And now y'all just have to talk to me. You can love folks, but when folks is going to hold you back, you need to get rid of them. Can I get a witness? Folks, wrong associates will hinder you from getting your blessings if you're not careful. So, and then let me go and put it to you a little bit closer. Sometimes it's folks that you in your own household, that you are locked behind your own doors, that'll stop you from getting your blessing. I got to preach this morning because I have made up my mind that I'm into my new season, and therefore I'm not going to let nobody hinder me from getting my blessing. I tell you, I just don't want to be around nobody not spiritual. Because when I get in my lonely state, when I get in my depressed state, I want one of these brethren to say, Reverend, I know God is going to pick you up, going to move you out of your state. Jehoshaphat knew that God could do something. He asked, the word says it, it's in the Bible, he asked, is there not a prophet here that we may inquire of the Lord? You need friends around you that when you're going through something, Piker, you can call them. And you know they got a word for you. I don't want to hear no more, it's going to be all right. I want you to tell me, I know that it's going to be all right. I know that God's going to bring you out of your situation. Jehoshaphat knew one word from God could change everything. That's what I want around folks around me, that he can say, now listen, let me give you a scripture. You need to give a scripture. See, if they don't have a word, forget all that other psychology they supposed to know. You know how we think that we know folks' mind. You don't know folks' mind. You think folks sing, that's when they insane. Oh, I wish I had somebody in here. Who that called and Matter says she's a psychologist. Maybe what you think is logic ain't logic. I found that out on the first test I took in psychology. What you think, and if you ever took a course in logic or philosophy, I don't want to get into academics here, but that's the way The devil wants you to think. He wants you to think what he's telling you, Pickett, is the right way, because he don't want you to come in here and get among them out here and y'all start praising God. He don't know. He don't want you to do that. And so they was in the wilderness. Now some of us is in the wilderness in here this morning, and I'm one of them. Listen, you're not by yourself. You got company. You got me. I'm in the wilderness. More, I be in dry places all the time. And I come to tell you, Dave was in the wilderness. So don't feel bad when you're going through your wilderness. Don't feel bad when you're going through something look like you can't get out of. You just want a minute that's in the wilderness. But wait a minute. For all of you that don't know it, can I footnote this to you? If you in the wilderness, God put you there. And sometimes he just wants you to call his name. Are y'all in here? Sometimes when he was giving you the good thing, you didn't appreciate it. So he put you in the wilderness to let you know the only way you're going to get out, you're going to have to call his name.